For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lily Hevish, and I was adopted, and I'm proud of that. This month is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and in honor of that, I thought it'd be really cool to do the tag video that's going around about people's experiences growing up Asian American. And I was super inspired by Jen and Amy's video. They did one down below. Amy started the tag, and it's just talking about their experiences growing up being Asian American and struggles that they've faced and what it's like. And my side of the story is a little bit different because I was adopted, so I wanted to share that, and maybe someone else who's in the same position as me can relate. And it's a conversation that's not really talked about a lot because being a minority, where if you live in a predominantly white area, it's hard to talk about because you can't relate to anyone about it. But with YouTube, people will be able to find this and not feel so alone, I guess. So that's why I want to share my story and just talk to you about my experience and what it's like being adopted. It all starts when I was born. I was born in China. I have no idea where, really, but when I was 1, my parents traveled to China and they adopted me. And they took me back, all the way back to New Hampshire, and I've been living in America ever since then. So I have no idea who my biological parents are. I don't know where they lived. I don't know their names. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't even know if they're alive. I have no information. It was a closed adoption, and I think I'm okay with that. I'm super fortunate and blessed to have my parents now with me, because I have such a great life here in America. I don't know, what would have happened if I went with someone else or I didn't get adopted. I don't know. Being adopted is it's kind of weird because, you're probably the only one in your family that looks extremely different from the rest of them. Because, I'm obviously Asian, right? And then the rest of my family is, French/Jewish and white. So, I don't look anything like them. And whenever they talk about, genetics or the family heritage tree, I can't relate to that. I'm technically not blood related to them, so I can't even talk about things like that or even be part of that conversation. There's definitely some psychological thing though, because I don't look like anyone in my family and I don't see myself in my parents, I don't know, I feel in a way that could hinder some of the connection I have with them. I have a good relationship with my parents, but I feel if I could see myself in my family, I feel I'd be able to connect with them even better. And I don't know, it's so weird. And also just little things going into a store with my parents and having the cashier question whether or not I'm with them because I don't look like their daughter or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I've gotten used to it and I'm okay with it. Amy started this tag video and I wanted to answer a couple of the questions in the tag. So what is the first experience you felt that demarcation of being a minority/different? My entire life, I grew up knowing that I was adopted. My parents were very open about that with me, so I knew from a very early age what adoption meant. I knew that I was Chinese, but the first time that I really felt that I was different was, I think, in about 1st grade. One of the girls in my school would make fun of me because my nose was flat or something, because there's no bone. I don't know. I have an Asian nose, but I don't know. I didn't think that was a problem. That's just my nose. Is there something wrong with it? And then I also remember in elementary school, there were these kids that would hold up their pinky finger at me and be like, oh, it's the Asian middle finger. But being raised in America, that meant nothing to me. And I don't even know if that's a thing in China, but I would just do it back at them because I kind of didn't associate myself with China in a way because I didn't know anything about it. I literally didn't know. I was raised by Americans, so it's little instances like that. And then I don't know. There's always these stereotypes of Asians do well in school, and I did well in school not because my parents wanted to, but because I wanted to do well. It was a self-driven thing. But sometimes, I don't know, people have been well, of course she can do that because she's Asian. And that always puts me off, because why does that matter if I'm Asian or not? I was born and raised in America by Americans. So were you always proud of your heritage, or was there a time you rejected it? For the most part, I've been pretty positive about it. There's always been just like a couple times where like, I don't know, my mom wanted me to wear like the fancy Chinese outfits. There's probably a name for it that I just can't remember right now. And I'd always feel really weird wearing it in public just because I'd stand out so much. But I mean, besides that, I've grown out of it, and I'm proud to be Chinese American. And my favorite part is probably just the Asian American community and being part of that and being able to relate to someone else who, I don't know, looks like me. It's really weird because in school, there were only 5 other Asians in my grade out of like 330. So like, whenever I see an Asian person, like I'd have to do like a double take almost, because I'm like, oh my god, there's someone that looks like me, and it reminds me of who I am and where I'm from, and it catches me off guard. And then when I went to college, there were like so many more Asians. And like, I don't know, it just felt really comforting to see other people like me. It's really weird. I feel like I can relate and talk to other Asians easier just because we have that sort of connection and bond of like, hey, you're Asian, I'm Asian, let's be friends. Because we get it, you know, we're a minority in America, and I don't know, I just feel like it's easier to connect with them in a way. My favorite part about being Asian American is just the community. Everyone is, for the most part, super accepting, and you know, you can talk to them about things that you wouldn't normally talk to other people about just because we're such a minority group in America. The second thing I love about being Asian is my Asian hair. It's so soft. I never have to like straighten it. It's just always perfect and doesn't get tangled in. It's just great. It's just great. There are definitely some awkward barriers, like obviously looking different in family photos, you know, not being able to relate to genetics or family heritage and things like that. But for the most part, I'm very okay with it. You know, I love my life now. I love my family. I'm super fortunate that my parents adopted me from China because I really have a great life in America. I'm very open about telling people, like, yeah, I was adopted from China. Like, I'm not ashamed of it. It's just kind of a fact that can be said, you know? Like, I don't have any shame of telling people because that's just what happened. I don't know, I think adoption is really beautiful because you're literally saving someone's life, and the world's already overpopulated, and, you know, kids, like, these babies need a home, and if you go to somewhere else and adopt a baby, like, that is the greatest gift that you can give them. And I'm super happy that my parents chose me and that I have the life I have now. And, you know, if you're adopted too, I hope you could relate to this somehow and really accept that it's awesome to be adopted. There's no shame to it. Like, live your life and bring out your Asian American. But yeah, comment down below your stories, your thoughts. I would love to start a discussion and see, you know, other people's experiences. That is the greatest thing about YouTube. You can just post a comment and then a discussion starts. So go do that. Check out the videos from Amy and Jen down below. I'm Asian American and I'm proud of it. And I hope you are too, because there's nothing to be ashamed of. Embrace it. Because you're you, and you just gotta go for it and show the world who you are. I'm Lily, and I need to think of a new outro.